Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Fade Junaid. I film about family, lifestyle and food. And yeah, today I have something a little bit different for you guys. This is my birth story. Guys, you need a cup of tea or drink, juice, anything. Join me and listen to how the labor went, everything I'm about to tell you all today. So if you want to see more, please continue to watch. So guys, welcome back. I want to tell you about how it went down for me. Okay, so on the 27th, I delivered Salma, alhamdulillah. Right, on the 21st was her original due date. So obviously the 21st comes, we're getting ready. I had my friend over who helped me braid my hair. I was trying to look good to go into the delivery room. I didn't want to look, anyhow. So I was braiding my hair. We were just gisting, watching labor videos. I watched tons and tons and tons of delivery videos. Guys, it's not the same. Let me just tell you that first of all, firsthand. It is not the same as everybody else's, okay? You would always find something new about yours, right? So I was watching videos, we're just chilling, preparing for the baby, all of that. So that was, 21st, nothing happened. So fast forward to, I think the 25th, things were starting to change. My bloody show was starting to, come. So, and funny enough, I had an appointment on that day. So I went to the hospital and they were just checking me, told me, okay, if the baby doesn't come in the next 2 to 3 days, we are going to induce you. So I went into labor 3 days before the 27th. So what day was this? The 24th. So I went into labor on the 20th. My labor kind of started on the 24th. So so I think it was the day before that was when I went into hospital, and they told me if the baby doesn't come in the next couple of days, we're going to induce you. So I had an appointment set for a particular day, right? I think the day after I had her or something like that. Anyway, how I was due for induction basically. Luckily, the labor kicked in the day after my appointment, so I didn't have to go into the hospital again for any other appointments or induction, because I was quite afraid of that happening. I was told that if you get induced, the pain is a lot stronger. It's not the natural labor pain, because already natural labor pain is like is here, but induction is like here. So that's what I was told anyway, because I feel like they say it's a force of your hormones to put you into labor. So that was the story behind that. But anyway, the natural labor started on the 24th, right? So I actually had her on the 27th. So I was in labor for 3 days. 3 good days of labor, guys. 3 days I was in labor for, right? So I was at home with just any of the nights there. I wasn't sure what I was feeling because it's my first time, right? So I wasn't sure if this is actually labor, because every other thing I've been feeling, like they tell me, I think it was when I had my second child that I realized, oh, this is what Braxton Hicks feels like, or this is what contraction actually feels like. Because I remember vividly now the different kind of pains, right? So the Braxton Hicks was actually happening slowly, but nothing much was happening. Like it wasn't affecting my daily movement or anything. But when the labor started, are you following? When the labor started, it was affecting my daily routine. I was going from to so I wasn't able to do much anymore. I was just kind of like, okay, this is not normal. 1 minute I'm like active, and next minute I'm just like pause for a minute. The pain will just grab me here and I just hold pause there. That was happening here and there, but I was still going through it. So I called the hospital. I'm not sure if I'm in labor yet, but they were like, okay, they wouldn't advise me to come into the hospital yet, because I need, usually as a first time mother, it would take longer. It might take 3 to 4 days for you to go into real proper labor, and you probably wouldn't be talking the way you're talking to me now if you're in real labor. I was like, So you're telling me this one I'm feeling now is not labor? that I'm not there yet. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, no problem. So I was at home, going through my day, and my brother would bring me tea, and before he goes to work, he'd bring me toast. So this was during the day. At night time, I wasn't able to sleep through the whole pain. My sister, she didn't want to even go to school anymore at this point because she was just too scared. So she would stay with me, and then she would go to school, and then she was just on and off, was just terrified with herself, and but then she was also excited. Like, we were all equally excited, right? Because of course our first baby is coming. We're just like buzzing, and my friend who had done my hair before, she was buzzing as well. And the week before I was expecting baby, obviously none of us had babies before, so we're just thinking, Shabi, they tell you you're due on this date and you start feeling it. So we're all packing the bags, everything was ready on the 21st, but 5 days later, before anything even started. So that was that. So my sister wasn't going to school anymore. She was just scared. She wanted to stay by me, and we're just going through the pain together. She would go off to school one day, she'll come back, I was still in the same position. I was on the phone to my husband because he actually missed the labor, my Salma's labor. She missed it, so he missed it. He was in Nigeria at this point, so like he wasn't available to be there, and I'll be on the phone to him, telling him I couldn't explain what I was feeling to him. You know what I mean? But I was just trying my best to let him know, okay, this and that, and like it was, and then I'm feeling it here, and then the pain will come here, and then this. And then my mom, she was going to work on all of these days, so she'd leave me at home alone. Everybody would go to work and school, and my parents were all working, and I would just be at home. I didn't know what to do. So it was such a horrible pain. Like, guys, it was not funny. It was horrible. The only person I could get on the phone was my partner. Like, guy, look, you cannot be sleeping. How are you sleeping when I'm going through this pain? You're staying awake. We're going through this together. I don't even care if you cannot help me, but you must stay on the phone. So that night I was like, guys, okay, listen, this pain is too much, we need to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital that night. The doctor was like, nah, I'm just getting started. I was like, so all of this pain is just getting started, okay. And they had to let me go home. So but the annoying thing is, when they want to feel their way into how you're getting on, hell, guys, it's the most uncomfortable pain ever. The guy, and then it wasn't even a male doctor as well. Just went whoop, and then it's like, yeah, and then we feeling around it. You're like, bro, like, you can't be doing that. Like, it's so uncomfortable. So that was happening. I went all through this, and you tell me, nah, you're not there yet. You're just about to start dilating. I'm thinking, let me buy me. So we went back home. This was night. So through the night I couldn't sleep. Like, so. The same thing was happening. I would just wake up, have a shower, go through the labor, get served food in my bed. I won't even be able to eat the food. My brother was so scared. And he's always got this nervous feeling over pregnancy. Like, it wasn't able to be there with me. It would always bring me food and just be, are you okay? You go back downstairs. Let me know if you need anything. Okay, you go to work, come back, and like, that was everyone doing to me. I just locked me up in my room, and I just going through it. And then I would go on walks every now and then with my dad, and then he would make me go up the stairs. And then my auntie also, she would come over and tell me, you're going up the stairs, up, and everything I was just doing to try and make this baby come and make the whole contraction start off, because I was already contracting, but nothing was happening. So on the second day, my mucus plug actually started coming. So my mucus plug was coming, and then I was already actually no, I think my mucus plug started already, but nothing, I hadn't lost my water yet. Okay, so anyway, so all of this contraction, my mucus plug was showing, so I knew I was getting somewhere. I've read it as well, done my research, that if your mucus plug is coming, definitely your body is getting prepared to really, the babies will come down and all of that. So I knew it was a sign. But going to the hospital, they sent me back home, so because I wasn't ready, I wasn't dilating yet. Right, so that was that. And then, so this was the second day of contracting. Nothing was happening. Now, the third day, it was not the same. I did not sleep for 2 seconds. I did not even close my eyes at all, because the contraction was up here. It was on another level. Like, if I just try to lay my head back down like this, I just feel the pain. I'll just get up, and I start walking around, I start moving myself, just, distract myself from feeling the pain. It was crazy. So this is the morning now. My mom went to work again, and then my auntie came over, and then she'll make me go up and down the stairs as usual. My sister had gone to school and she didn't want to miss the labor because she eventually missed it all after all this time. So this third day now, I knew definitely something was happening a lot stronger. And then I just thought I'll go to the bathroom. On going to the bathroom, I could feel the water just trickling down. Then I knew that, okay, definitely, if I can't, I read it somewhere that if you can't stop the water coming down, because you know the expectation you have in movies where when your water break, it's just gushing. But this time it wasn't like that. So it was just pouring down and you can't stop it. So you have to use a pad. And I called the hospital. I think my water just broke. And then they were like, okay, get a pad on and try and pack your bag and start coming to the hospital. Guys, the minute I heard start coming to the hospital, I was just like, hey, it's finally, the time is here. We're finally having this baby. But let me tell you, it's different too. It's not the same. It just wasn't that. So I was excited, go to the hospital, right, you know. And my mom, luckily, she came back from work at this time. So her, my auntie, we went to the hospital together. And yeah, so my sister was obviously upset. Like, why would she miss? She wanted to come to the hospital. And then so she didn't get to come with us. And then the sad thing was, as soon as we left, she called, where are you guys? Oh, we're on the motorway, we're going to the hospital. She was so pained. Anyway, so we went to the hospital. The doctors, we waited around for a little while, eventually got checked again. He checked me again. And actually, when I went to the hospital the night before, right, I think, actually, I lie. I went to hospital the night before, right? So the night before the baby came, I went to hospital and the doctor said, the nurse said to me that, this is not, you're not there yet, you're just dilating, but I'm sure that by the time, because he's doing a night shift, by the time you come back, you would see me and you probably will be dilated enough to be admitted. Does that make sense? So when I went in the first time, they didn't let me in. They didn't keep me because I wasn't quite there yet, right? So it was actually the second day of my contraction that I went to the hospital. So he said to me, by the time you come back, we would most likely admit you. And then I was like, okay, that's grand. So I had to go back home. All right, went back home. So that morning, that afternoon, when the contraction kind of kicked in, my water broke eventually. They told me to come to hospital. You know, don't delay, just come to hospital straight away. So we went in, and then they checked me. Went up there, checked it. They were like, I'm only 1 centimeters. Guys, 3 days of labor, 1 centimeters, 1 centimeters. Okay. So she was like, maybe in the next few hours you're getting close to 2 centimeters. You get there, you're almost there, 2 centimeters, and we'll admit you. So, but then obviously they didn't even have a choice to admit me anyway because already my water broke. So they eventually let me in. They took me upstairs. My mom and I went upstairs, kind of just prepared into that room where I was staying. So they would just come in, check me. I was dressed in my gown now, just admitted, right? So checking me and nothing was changing. I mean, within 2 to 3 hours, I'll go from 2 to 3 centimeters. So even probably more because this was evening. My mother-in-law had switched with my mom as well. So basically, one person was supposed to stay in the hospital with you. And my mom and my mother-in-law, obviously they don't look the same, so they don't look alike. This is not the same person that was with you a couple of hours ago. My auntie stayed downstairs, but my dad would come in and check me every now and then, but they wouldn't let them come upstairs. So I would go downstairs and just walk around the hospital. So whenever I was getting too tired, I would stay upstairs. So I had a bad time with my mother-in-law. Guys, it was the painfulest, if that's even the word. It was so painful that she was like, okay, go into a bathtub, maybe it'll make you feel better. It did nada. It did not do that. It was even extra painful because I had to be, you have to kind of position yourself into the bathtub, and my body just wasn't into that. I wasn't ready to sit down. I wanted to just stand so I would be distracted from the pain or go on my knees or something. And she would tell me go in, and I'm like, I don't want to go in. And when you're just in so much pain, you're trying to do everything that would work, but nothing is working, and you just don't want to give out. You just like, in your head, you're like, leave me alone. I just want to feel the pain or just not even feel that at all. I was just trying to do as much as I can to just distract myself. Nothing was happening. So the doctors and the nurse would come in and check me. A few hours later, this was evening now, my mother-in-law was there, doing the bath time, and they tell me, oh, okay, let me check you. And then they tell me I'm only 3 centimeters. Hi, guy. 3 centimeters nowhere, after 3 days. So all of a sudden though, I then felt some sort of fever. I was feeling cold and hot at the same time. So I would go into the blanket and then I'll get up again if I'm feeling a contraction, and I'm like, it's coming, the contraction is coming. I'm just like moving around like a robot, like, okay, I don't want to sit like this. I want to sit. I was just moving around. So that was happening. And then I just felt that fever pain and, feverish. And then I told the nurse, listen, can you please check me? Because I've been here a few hours, because they weren't coming, often. So let me know. Because, that's one thing I think helps me as well, because I was aware of my body and the changes that was happening. So I was just quite informed that, okay, this is not a good feeling I'm feeling right now. Let me come and check me, please. 30 or 40 minutes later, she eventually came, and then she checked the pad and said to me, she checked me, that's when she told me I was 3 centimeters, and then she checked the pad and said, this color isn't right, So basically what she's trying to say was the baby had made a poop in me. So, and at that stage where I'm only 2 to 3 centimeters, it's not safe, because I still have a long way to go to 10 centimeters, and she could choke on her own poop. There's a word for it. There's some medical words. I'll put it there. So she could choke on it. So they might have to bring her out. While I was hearing that, I was scared, like, okay, she made a poop. Is that scary? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Should I be worried? But then I heard they might have to bring her out. I was like, I get to meet my baby. So that kind of made me excited. Like, okay, I hope she's okay, but does that mean I get to see her sooner than I actually expected? Because going from 3 centimeters in 3 days, I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get to 10 centimeters. So I was like, okay, maybe they have to do a surgery for me to get the baby out, and that's the end of all of my agony, right? So I was excited about that. I knew I could see my baby now. Like, God willing, I will see my baby. I'll get to hold her. I've been waiting so long to see her, So she tells me this. I was so excited. I called my husband. Okay, we might be having a C-section because baby had pooped, and there's a word for it anyway. And it's dangerous because she might choke on her own poop. And I was also having temperatures. I was having fever, so they need to do something real quickly. So they just said to me, okay. After a while, they came back. He said whatever. Obviously, inshallah, you'll be fine. We're hoping for the best, right? The baby will come out well, you're going to be healthy, you're good, like, she's going to be healthy, you're fine. So do whatever they say. Of course, I was going to do whatever they say anyways. I told my dad the same thing, whatever brings the baby, as long as it's safe. So they went off. All of a sudden, you just see all the doctors, the nurses, all of them just walking in. All right, so Father K needs to sign this because the baby's after pooing. They were telling my mom this, like, the baby's after pooing, and we need to bring her out because it's dangerous. Da 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 da. In my head, I was half panicking and half excited. Okay, grand. If that's what's gonna help me bring the baby out. I get out of my misery and I get to see my baby. I'll be fine. This life goes on. So they were just saying to me, sign the document, just make sure you agree with this and this. I was just reading quickly, signing this thing. So they wheeled me off to the room to get all my kits and all on. So I did that, and there they were checking again to just make sure the baby is in a good position for the C-section to happen. And then I look at my mom. My mom was just like, my mom was just there whispering to herself, praying. She had called my mother-in-law, she had called my husband, she had called my auntie, people that needed to be informed that we're all there from the start. Okay, this is what's happening, this is the new discovery, we need to let you know this. Okay, everyone was just, informed, they're all praying. Some of them were downstairs waiting anyway, because it was quite late at this time. So eventually, when they were downstairs all the time, but when I got wheeled into the room, it was a lot later then. So they had gone home. So they were all informed over the phone, and some of them stayed on the phone just to be there and, be with me. But it was late at night at this point. So me and my mom did it together. So we went into the delivery room. So the scary part for me through this whole process was the needle, right? So anesthetics to numb my legs down, right? So obviously you had to be in a certain position. So I was told to kind of bend my back, and because I've heard so many stories, I've read so many things about, you could go paralyzed or you could do this and that, but it was actually fine. But I was just scared. I was trying to be as stiff as possible while I was having contraction. Imagine how you're having contraction, but then you still have to go ahead and be as stiff as possible just so you don't move. Because if you move, you know, too quickly or whatever, it could distract the person injecting you. So that was really scary for me. But as soon as the injection went up, the numbness just started like that, and I just laid down, waited, and 10 to 15 minutes later, you could just see them moving things around. You could feel your body going like this. They're just shaking you and telling you, okay, they can feel the baby now. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So they took the baby out. The first thing he was like, oh, here she is, a head full of hair. I look at the baby. I was like, oh, is that my baby? It was such an amazing feeling, like just to know that this is what was in my stomach the last 9 months and 5 days, guys. No, 6 days, sorry, what am I doing my 5 days, 9 months and 6 days. This was what it was in my stomach. I was so overwhelmed, and I was just crying, and my mom was looking at me and she was just crying. I was just happy, like all of that tension I could see in her face just reduced, and she was just concerned that, okay, hope I'm okay, because they were still working on me, and then they gave her the baby, but she was kind of like paying attention at both of us. So I was talking to her, are you okay? Oh, is baby okay? Baby's fine, she's gorgeous, she's got your hair. I was like, yes, that's my hair. the hair was so full on her head, and she was just looked so beautiful, and I could hear her cry, and the minute she cried, guys, the tears were just pouring down like waterfall. The tears were just pouring down. The minute she started crying, oh my god, it was amazing. So then they just give a few minutes later, they were just stitching me back up, telling me I lost a lot of blood, but I didn't need to get blood. I was fine, it was great. I mean, alhamdulillah, everything went well. And then they took me to the recovery room. My mom and I waited there for a little while, did all of that. And then nighttime, it was very, very late. I think it was like 1 a.m. at this point, because I had her around 12:30. So about 1 a.m. or 1:30, my mom had to go home. They were like, okay, grandma, you need to go home now. She's gonna be fine. We'll take it from here. So they wheeled me to the room. What's that? There's this room, like you have other mothers in as well. And it was really late at night. So someone was just screaming her heads off. She was crying so loud that the minute I got into that room, I was gone. I slept for hours, guys. I don't even know what happened through the night. After taking pictures and all of that, all the videos to my husband, he was staying on the phone for a while. I was just gone, guys. I was gone. I don't even know how Salma, if she was awake or she was asleep or if she was eating or she was crying, because I didn't sleep for 3 days, guys. So I was really, really tired. I went off, slept off, and I woke up, and then that's when the whole flowers, people bringing gifts, and that's when the whole nice, new mom feeling started. So it was great. It was amazing. I went home 3 days later, because after the C-section, you go home 3 days later, and then everyone got to meet her. It was such an amazing feeling. Like, I didn't get to feel that with Hamza because we were in lockdown, and I'm really, really sad about that, actually, because no one got to see him as much. But except family. So. But Salma's time, I got to enjoy the whole new mom vibe, food, fresh ogi. Guys. Anyway, that's the end of my story, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I have another one coming for Hamza. We'll see how this one does, and let me know if you'd like to hear about Hamza's time as well. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.